Today, the Marine think tank Australia goes on a guided tour of just how creatively the Australian government can set fire to your tax dollars. Spoiler, it's not on hospitals, roads, or housing. Nope, they've succumbed to the woke mind virus. Let's start strong with a project reportedly funded for
$1 million.
decolonizing breastfeeding. I'm not joking, $1 million. For what exactly? Teaching babies not to latch onto white oppression? The Marine think tank Australia is all for supporting new mothers, but unless those babies are burping out generational trauma, I'm not sure what colonialism has to do with nipples. But apparently, we need $1 million study to find out. At this price, the government could have just hand-delivered platinum breast pumps to every new mum in the country. Next, the anti-racist dentistry curriculum. Nearly $900,000 to teach dentists how not to be racist. I didn't know that plaque was now a social construct. The project, led by the Indigenous Oral Health Unit at the University of Adelaide, aims to develop and implement anti-racist curriculum for dental students, enhance recruitment and well-being of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander dentists, and create an oral health promotion training module for Aboriginal health workers and practitioners. I always thought the dentist's job was to fix teeth, not fight colonial oppression between your molars. Meanwhile, Aussies are skipping checkups because they can't afford to get a filling. But don't worry, Australia will have the most culturally sensitive root canals in the world. Alright, brace yourselves, because next on the list is a drag show for scientists. Funded to the tune of $18,480, the Australian government funded a science drag show. Apparently, the idea was to make science more inclusive and fabulous by having drag performers explain complex scientific ideas. So we spend taxpayer money to watch a grown man in a wig teach science. I mean, we're talking gravity, thermodynamics, quantum theory, but the one scientific fact we're all supposed to ignore is what's tucked between her legs. Here's a wild thought. Maybe let's get kids access to lab equipment, spend that almost 20 grand on setting up a science lab in a local school. We're in a cost of living crisis. Bills are up, rents are through the roof, hospitals are full, and the government really thought, you know what we need right now? A gender-fluid deep dive into particle physics. The next woke project, funded by the taxpayer, is part of the federal government's arts program, Colonial Resistance Dance, a performance piece funded by you. No hard cost has been released, but if previous projects are anything to go by, let's just assume it costs more than resurfacing a rural road. Look, if this dance magically cured power prices, solved immigration, lowered cost of living, I'd shut up and be the first to buy front row tickets. Australia doesn't need more symbolic dances. It needs government to take action, create opportunity, and produce outcomes. All right, let's tally up the fiscal genius we've witnessed today. Brought to you by the same government that is struggling to keep the lights on, but can absolutely fund a drag queen with a microscope. $1,070,000 for decolonizing breastfeeding, $898,000 for anti-racist dentistry, $18,480 for drag shows for scientists. That equals nearly $2 million gone, spent on woke passion projects no one asked for, but we're all paying for. The roads are crumbling, hospitals are overcrowded, and the average Aussie can't afford a dental checkup. But at least the government's out here fighting oppression, one interpretive lactation workshop at a time. So the next time Albo says he's investing in your future, just remember that that future comes with drag shows, woke dentistry, and a $1 million baby bottle filled with guilt. Authorised by Matt Carroll, Senior Vice President of Marine Think Tank Australia.